Would it be annoying if, I don't know if I've got hot chocolate around my mouth, but I can't tell if it's hot chocolate or just my spots. Would it be annoying if while I was chatting to you, I was putting my washing up on the dryer? Because I'd like to do both things. I'd like to chat to you, but this is also a task that needs doing. And if I'm honest, quite frankly, I don't really want to take my washing out the dryer. But if I do, it will smell like damp, taste like damp. That'd be weird, wouldn't it, if it smelled? So I hope you don't mind. But we're gonna do both. I think it's a good use of my time. Here it is. This is the old thing. Actually, look like I've got dressed for the day. There it is. Today's video is symptoms and signs that you're on the right track when it comes to healing and getting your period back. Now, I get loads of messages about like, hey, I've got this, is that normal? And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, that's normal. And a lot of them, I even forget that I even had the symptoms as well. But I need you to know that any symptom that you're having that is kind of like PMSy and things like that, you're on the right track. Right, bear with, let me get it out. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. But okay, let's go. Just kick it along. It's probably all dirty now, isn't it? Right, number one is acne. Now, I still suffer a little bit, you can see. But I was getting really bad acne to start with. This isn't really working with me. I don't really want to have to kneel down. Is that better? Yeah. I was getting really bad acne to start with. And I also had really strange skin. So I have quite dry skin anyway, but just before I was coming on, I would have such a mixture. So like one day I'd be oily as hell, and then the next minute I'd be dry as hell. It was not that pleasant. And this is the funny thing, right, is a lot of the symptoms that you're about to get your period back or you're like healing from HA, a lot of the symptoms aren't that nice. So other symptoms I have was definitely PMS around the time that I would probably have my period. So I found that every month around the 5th, I would have lots of PMS symptoms. So I would have like really bad cramps, but no period. It was like a ghost period. What else did I have? I would have real bad hot sweats. So before, I would just come over all hot and start sweating. And that's apparently a sign. One of the biggest ones actually is a huge difference, a huge change in my cervical mucus. So what I found is there was an increase. When I had real bad HA, I was like dry as hell. Whereas as soon as I started healing, I noticed a lot more. And that now my cervical mucus does change throughout the month. So I tend to have a lot more around ovulation, and I'll do a video on it. But I noticed that when my body really started to like kickstart, I was getting a lot more. And actually, do you know what? That went on for about a year before I even got my period. Now, I know that's because I wasn't fully committed to getting my period back. That was like, I was eating a little bit more sometimes, then my body would be like, oh, and then I'd restrict again. Other symptoms, really bad disturbed sleep. I would be waking up quite often in the night. So, and I would also really struggle to get to sleep. There went for a stage that for a few months I had to have a bowl of oats just to help me get to sleep. And that's when I had really committed to healing and I was fueling my body properly. I also found as well that any type of exercise, whether that was like a power yoga session or just like a light body weight, or whether I had pushed the boat and gone for like a bit of a run, I would take a lot longer to recover. So previously I felt as though that I was able to work out so much because I was so pumped with adrenaline and cortisol, and I would just take a shit ton of coffee to get through it. Whereas what I noticed when I first started to recover is that actually I took a lot longer to recover. So once I committed to that recovery, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I understand. Like it's like my body was like, oh, okay, yeah, you've just worked out, oh, okay, I thought we were healing, oh, and then it would take me a lot longer to recover. I also found that I was having to sleep a lot more. I was luckily, when I first committed to, don't you hate jeans after they've been in the wash? That is heavy. Where do you even put jeans on the rail? Do you follow, like, I don't know if there's a way that you're meant to put things on. I just chuck things on and hope for the best. Oh, I've got Tala leggings from Grace Beverly. So used to be Grace Fit, if you followed her on the fitness days. They're like the best leggings ever. Anyway, went off track. Was I talking about sleep or recovery? Can't remember, but my sleep was really disturbed. And, oh no, sorry. That's what I was saying, is that I had just started working out from home, and working. This is why I don't talk to you and do something at the same time, because I can't get my words out. Working from home, and I actually went for a stage. I'm probably a good few weeks of, on my lunch break, was having to have a nap. Because I'm a little bit dramatic. No, I think that is all part of healing, that you're just like so exhausted and your body ached, and it was like, oh my God, everything felt such a chore. And often I felt like I was actually ill when I wasn't. I was just healing. Other symptoms were like eating a lot of food but being starving. So like I would eat so much food, like proper meals, 3 like big meals a day plus eating snacks in between, and it would get just before bed and I'm starving again. Like I said earlier, of like having to eat the oats and things like that. I was always hungry. What else? I was also, another big one, which is one I get the message a lot, is so I'm now a dress size bigger, which I think I'm now fluctuating between, because all the clothes that I originally bought, my diet hasn't changed at all. If anything, I'm probably eating more, and I'm finding a lot of my bottoms have started to get big. So I don't know if my body's doing like a Stephanie Buttermore thing, you know, where like you eat whatever you want and it naturally just adapts, or what. I don't know. I do not know. But what happened at the start of recovery is I just went like this. Whoop. Sorry, I keep cutting my head off, don't I? I felt like I just went so puffy, and I just kind of like swelled. So I felt like I was really puffy. I was holding lots of water, and I gained weight rapidly. There's a few photos that I look back, which I don't know if they're beneficial to share or not, because I don't want people to compare and go, Christ, you think that's big? But it was just in such a short amount of time that I felt like I really swelled. And then as soon as I got my period back, I just kind of like shrunk back down again, and all of that water weight went. And the same happened again when I lost it again, because I had 3 periods and I didn't have 2 periods. But just in those 2 months that I didn't have that period again, that I lost it again, I swelled again. And I don't really know what that is. I don't know the science behind it. So if you do know the science behind it, please share. That would be really interesting to know, and I'm sure like other people watching this would love to know. But yeah, I definitely swelled, and I think that's a big one that a lot of people are like interested in, of like, shit, I'm gaining tons and tons of weight, like what happens? But like and I'm sure this isn't going to be the same for everyone, because everyone's different, but I've just found that my body just kind of like adapted. Honestly, guys, I cannot get over what I eat now, in terms of volume, in terms of choice, in terms of like the freedom around food. I cannot get over it. And I'm like, how am I this size? Or how do I feel this good? Do you know what I mean? So if you are going through recovery and you're watching this like in recovery thinking like, God, is this always going to be the case? I don't think it is, because it wasn't for me anyway. I definitely did my body, once it kind of trusted me again, it was very much like, oh, okay, but I think we've got to give it time to be able to trust us. My boobs definitely got bigger as well. I don't think I've gone, yeah, no, I have gone up a size, because I was about to show you then, guys. But I'm definitely coming out of this cup now. So my boobs have got bigger. I did go up a dress size, as I said, but not in I wouldn't say in a bad way. I think in a good way, if anything. What other symptoms did I have? My sex drive increased. Sweating a lot, more hungry, more sleepy, body aches, skin. Yeah, I'd say that was it really. I had just loads of different symptoms that you're just like, am I pregnant? Am I due on? Am I going to come on? Am I normal? There was so much that, or am I even ill? A lot of it was like, am I ill? At one stage, I think I diagnosed myself with COVID about 5,000 times because I was so tired, when actually I wasn't going anywhere. I lived alone and I worked from home, and I went out once a week to get my food shop, or other than that I was walking down by the sea. So I definitely didn't have it, but because these symptoms were so strange to me and I was like, I can't work out why I'm so exhausted, I actually thought I was really ill, but I wasn't. My body was just healing. So yeah, if you are going through it, sleep, warrant it, nap, rest, eat a shit ton of food, and keep that intensity down. The main thing, what we need to do is just keep that stress down, and actually, do you know what, just enjoy life a little bit more. Another symptom actually is I found I was bored a little bit more, because I was like, what do you do if you're not working out? So I actually did, another symptom was a bit of boredom. But you find other things to do. I read a lot, I journaled a lot, I actually really got into like moons and spirituality and a little bit of creative stuff. So like, you find time. Maybe I could do a video on that. What to do if you no longer are the fit one, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I need to get the rest of this up, otherwise it's drying on my carpet and I don't think that's a good thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week. Bye.